seems like there's some freshman energy. What's that the dynamics? Of course, you coming in, you're an older guy with some of the new guys coming in. Can you give us an idea what the room is like?
I'd say it's a really talented group. We definitely have a little bit of a younger group too. I mean, we have a lot of guys that, especially at like the D-tap position, that haven't really played as much. So a lot of guys are still trying to prove themselves. But I'd say we have a lot of the 3 guys that came in this winter are super talented. I mean, they've already came ready to play, and you can tell that they're physically ready to play too. So I'd say we have a lot of up and coming guys that are going to be really special players here soon.
Hey, as an older guy walking into a younger room, how do you kind of approach that? You try to be a leader right away. You try to step as you walk into it.
Yeah, I feel like to be a leader in a group, you gotta build relationships first. So I try to build relationships with everyone, get to know the guys, and they brought me in, and we all feel like brothers now. So I feel like it's a little easier to lead now. I'm definitely trying to step up in that role since Nate Temple got hurt. He was kind of our leader, I'd say. So since he's not been in the meeting rooms as much, it's been a spot for me to step up and be a leader. So.
How are you feeling about some of these young guys as you guys get ready for the spring game on Saturday?
Really excited. I mean, I'd just say the fans are going to see a lot of plays being made by those guys. I mean, just in the last scrimmage we had, Sincere he had 2 back-to-back plays where he had 2 sacks, and he's going to be really good. I mean, you had Francis just pushing people back in the quarterback, Zach making plays too. So I feel like you got a lot of young guys that people don't know yet, and the fans are going to see what they're all about.
When you look at Pitt and how it played defense coming into your senior year, has it lived up to your expectations that the aggressiveness that you guys being coached to play and how to get after guys?
Yeah, I'd say 1,000%. I mean, it's even that and beyond. I'd say since Coach Dowse got here, we even changed how we play from what I got told when I was getting recruited. We're trying to play more vertical, get off the ball, not worried so much about what the offense is doing, and just trying to get penetration and make plays. And I'd say that they took it up a notch from what I was told when I came in originally.
Has there been any talk about getting back among like the top sack producing programs in the country? That I think it was for 5 straight years before the last year, Pitt finished in the top 3 in the country in total sacks. Has there been any mention hey, that's part of the 3 and 9 problem that we had last year?
Yeah, we definitely talked about that, but I mean, first we talked about stopping the run. I think we had a stat up on the board early in spring ball that we gave 150 yards a game in rushing. I mean, that's unacceptable for our defense. So we figured, I mean, there's obviously some problems on the other side of the ball that was causing some of that, but we still trying to take it upon ourselves and say, well, what can we do to get better? And we realized, well, we were getting tons of rushing yards every game. So even though we're not getting very many pass attempts, I mean, the reason that was happening is we weren't getting stopped in the run. So I'd say that's a goal of ours. I just feel like we got to take it at steps and stop the run first, and then we'll get to the money down, I'd say.
On the offensive side, who's the most difficult to bring down?
Difficult to bring down. I'd probably say Daniel Carter. He's a big back. He runs super hard. And a lot of the scrimmages, I mean, it's been hard taking him down. So I'd say Daniel for sure.
What about the offensive tackles? Who's been giving you a good matchup, a good challenge each day?
I mean, really both. Branson, Ryan, Bear, Jackson. I mean, those 3 guys have been going against a lot, and they've been really tough to go against. I give a lot of props to Branson. I mean, he's probably one of the better tackles I've gone against in my career. He's just gives you a lot of different things that make it hard for you to have a plan for your rush and stuff like that. So I'd say those 3 guys have been really challenged me this spring.
Last year, the spring game was defense versus offense. This year, we're getting more of a traditional blue gold. Is there an excitement about going back to that way among the group?
Yeah. So obviously this is my first spring, but I've heard a lot of guys talking about the draft that we're going to have for the spring game, and I'm super excited for that because where I came from, we didn't have a spring game ever, so I'm not used to that. But yeah, I've heard a lot of excitement in the locker room about the guys talking about the draft and talking about who's going to get picked, who's going to be on what team. So I think it's an excitement about it.
Well, then, obvious, super hard question here, a lot of pressure. Who is the first overall pick in the draft this year?
I don't know. That's hard because I was talking to Gavin the other day, and they said they go by position
That's
now.
true.
I think, but I mean, if I was gonna pick someone first on the defense, I'd probably go with the guy that makes most plays, and I'd say Cruz. Cruz has been making a ton of plays in the spring, and I mean, he's just a dog on the field. So I 100% draft him.
Who's your first overall offensive pick?
First overall offensive pick, I feel like you gotta go with Gavin. I mean, he's just a dynamic guy. He can do a lot of different things, so I'd go with him.
Have those guys been telling you about sort of the strategy of it? That like, like you said, you start a position, you gotta, is the position deep, or like, have you been having a little strategy talk with some of the other seniors?
I haven't. I'm personally. I think only the Eagles are going to be the draft guys that are drafting the senior Eagles this year. So I just heard. I was talking to Gavin about it the other day, and he was just kind of talking about how it's going to go because I think it's going to be. I think there's 5 senior Eagles. I'm pretty sure. So I think it'll be those 5 guys that are drafted. So I'll be one of the guys getting drafted. I guess. I'll be on the other side.
Nate, to be clear, did you say you didn't have a spring game in Kansas State?
No, we never did. Not 1 year.
You just had spring ball and then it just ended?
Yeah, well, we have like a scrimmage at the end, but it wasn't a whole big game where we actually are playing against drafting people. Like it was just a normal practice, just open to the fans.
It's a little different for you to go forward this more than.
Yeah, I've always wanted to have a spring game. I mean, growing up, I would go to spring games for my last school all the time and watch them play. I mean, it was always super fun to go watch them. So I'm excited for the fans to get to see the team we have this year and just see the atmosphere also in the stadium with all the fans.
Dive in a little bit more to your transition from Kansas State and then coming to Pittsburgh, and who has helped you along the way?
Coach-wise, I mean, I'd say Coach Maut. He's the GA for our defensive line. I mean, he helped me a ton just because when I first got here, obviously the coaches are on the road, so he was the guy that was teaching us the defense and teaching us different things. And I go to him a lot for help. But then, I mean, Coach Dowse is right behind him. We haven't had as much time together as I have with Maut, but Coach Dowse has helped me a ton too. Just getting my ability out to just play fast and get out of old habits that I've had. So I'd say both those guys, and then also got a player. I'd say probably Nate Temple. I mean, he's always been a leader, and he helps with you. He's a leader for everyone. I mean, I bet if you'd ask all the different guys, I mean, they'd say Nate Temple too. So.
Anything else?
Deion said that you're one of the guys that people should look out for in the spring game. I mean, what does it mean to have that? And then also, what do you hope to show fans on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad. That's awesome Deion said that, but I just want to do the best I can. I mean, just really play like I have been playing during the spring, and just keep capitalizing off what I've done. And I think I'm not really trying to prove it to the fans, I guess. Just keep proving myself, and it'll all work out in the end.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.